All right. The idea is that we quickly run through the teams that are here and can pitch their hackathon idea. Each person should have like 2 minutes. We'll go through your problem statement, what impact you think that might have, and what your actual product is to its for. We'll just have to help you, or you'll just have to self-select when it gets to the slide if you don't know who's presenting. And then we can have a discussion or something. I did ask each team to prepare a question as well for the audience. So if you didn't do that, then now's a good time to try and quickly think of something to ask the audience after your slide. First team is Adam, Imran, and Fergusson. You guys know who's speaking?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm speaking. So the problem we're trying to solve is currently we couldn't find a way to be able to get multiple sources of transactions anonymously and then be able to categorize them and at the same time still make that available to an individual so that they could then see essentially a much broader view or as fine-grained as they need of how their money is being spent. The main thing being able to pull them from different sources and being able to categorize that the way that they want. And then we said, well, apart from that, we could take it one step lower or deeper in terms of saying, well, we could just build a platform that collects the data in an anonymized way so that somebody else could come along and build a client as such that uses that data in whatever way they want for their own app. So that's basically where we're going with it. So yeah, I don't know if Imran or Adam want to chime in on anything, but that's basically what we're building out.
Cool. Do you have any questions about this, like things that you're wondering about whether people will use it or?
Hi guys. I think the question that probably we would want to ask the community is, you see, one of the things is obviously this only works if we get the data. So we're trying to see if there's a willingness to be able to submit your data to the centralized platform. Obviously, there's benefits of doing that, because if you do so, you get access to the data, and what everyone else has done, you can benefit of as well. So one of the key things that we did was anonymize the data. So will the community be keen to actually submit their transaction? So we'll be able to write a script that you can then input your keys and stuff. Everything will be local on your side. It anonymizes the data on your side before it sends to the centralized server. So is that something that would be that the community would be open to?
I'm going to give 5 seconds and then I'm just going to pick them.
I can see Ben frantically trying to create a poll. Will you be?
I guess you can give a thumbs up if you want to say you would be happy with sharing your data in an anonymized way, and you would trust these guys on the thing. Ben, and you're looking very insightful there. Tell us what you
I'm a privacy skeptic, but I think the NSA has all our data anyway. But I don't think banking data is hard to de-anonymize. So I would be disinclined.
Okay.
Because if you know when the transaction happened, and if you can, without transactions being related to individuals, I don't think it's that useful. Well, maybe it is. But if it relates even in an anonymized manner to an individual, you can work out that I shopped at Woolworths this afternoon, therefore it's me.
Okay. And is there anything
to address that, we've come up with a scheme. We've come up with a scheme where your personal is not connected or collected at all. So we generate a user ID for you, which you have access to, but you'll need an email address to sign up, but we'll never store that email address, and we'll never use it. Except to reset or authenticate. We don't actually store the data, and any demographic information, if you want to upload it, is optional. But the account keys that are generated for use for uploading are generated numbers. So there's absolutely no way to connect you with your transaction.
Apart from my shopping habits.
Well, somebody would have to already know your shopping habits and already be able to identify those transactions as yours. Like there's nothing anybody could do with that information that we store.
Yeah.
Ben picked on me.
Okay, thanks, Brendan. That's pretty useful. I think we've got to move on because we've got to get to everyone. But thanks, guys. I like the project. I'm going to be sharing my transactions. You got me. Is anyone here from Pravendran and Ushik's team? I see you.
Hi. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hi. So basically our problem, well, it stemmed from my personal problem, where I would not know how to invest or which branch of investment to do, which gives you the best interest rates over the long term. So we decided on creating a wealth projection app or dashboard. So we're doing it in two parts. One is a messenger bot and one is a dashboard, which will give you basically personalized or customized projections of your transactions in 20 to 30 years time. So basically it gives you an understanding of how your bond can be reduced if you spend 1,000 Rand in KFC this month. So the potential benefit of that, or if you had to have invested that money into something, into a different account, how would that benefit you in the long run? So basically improving your understanding of your future wealth stability and how it's being affected by your spending habits. So the impact, I believe, will help us curb our bad habits. And yeah, I think that's covered the main things there.
Cool. And do you have any questions for like potential users of this or anything that you're not really sure about as a team that you might want some feedback on?
Just whether people will find this useful.
Okay. Vincent, you got great answers or great questions answered time. You think you would use something like this?
Yeah, I'd be super into this.
What do you like about it?
Basically, it plays exactly into one of my big issues with financial education, which is that financial education and the value in financial education is really hard to see because it's all so heavily delayed, right? You're doing things now that aren't going to bear any fruit at all for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And that is a massive issue for people my age and a lot of people younger than me as well. So if you can gamify that, if they can get that instant hit of dopamine of, oh yeah, I'm gonna get 20,000 rands for this 10 years from now, then then that kind of diminishes that effect of, oh no, this has no benefit for me for 20 years. You know, you get some dopamine now, same as you would when you actually go spending.
Yeah.
Yeah, so exactly. And we wanted to add a bit more into it that is a little, I forget the name for it, but the little happy face if you do some investments this month, or if you do spend a bit badly this month, then it gives you a little sad face. Was it a little egg or in a watch that had that functionality before? I forget what it's called.
Sure.
Tamagotchi, that's the one. Yeah, but basically you can set what you think is a bad spending habit. So obviously it is a bit dependent on your side, and it'll give you different avenues on how to spend your money in the future, or better spend it in the future for your own financial stability. So yeah.
Cool. Thanks. For time purposes, I'm moving on, but thanks for Chick. That was really awesome. And thanks, Vincent. Next up, Vincent and team.
What a shock. So basically, our big issue, the big thing that we were worried about is programmable banking is a really awesome idea and has a lot of power. But for the average person out there just browsing the internet and having a bank account and buying and selling crap, it's not really something that's approachable, which means that by and large, it's going to stay out of their use. So we want to try and figure out a way to make that happen. And the idea we came up with is basically having a standardized, well commented, clearly explained, and easily sort of certifiable little snippet of JavaScript that calls a standard type of API in a standard type of way, so that basically anyone who wants to make something that integrates with the transaction approve or decline API can use that same sort of snippet and that same sort of snippet generation, and people could use third-party services to get the functionality that they want, even if they can't code themselves. To that end, we have a couple of product ideas. The first one that we're going to use to basically demo the concept around the standard snippet of JavaScript and how that's generated and how that can link to a user and so on is basically an idea that we shamelessly grabbed from the programmable banking forums, which is being able to block the payment of trial subscriptions. Like, you know how Netflix will, for example, give you like 30 days free, but you have to enter your credit card at the start, and then after 30 days, they just start billing you. So you'll go in, you'll add Netflix to a little blacklist, and the first time Netflix tries to bill you, it tells them to sod right off. And the benefit is that in this case, we'll be able to have a simple web service. Someone can go and set up a block list or a blacklist in a form that's easily accessible to a normal user. They get their little snippet of JavaScript. They go forth and they paste it into their programmable banking bank card, and they can call it a day, making use of the nice fancy features that programmable banking gives you, even if you're not a dev.
Awesome.
And the question I had was, would you be comfortable adding a standardized and well-commented bit of code to your card? And if so, or if not, what would it take for you to be okay with that? What kind of certification or approval or agreement would you want to know that that is something that you're okay with?
Cool. Louis, I'm going to guess that you're available for answering questions. Are you around?
Yeah, I'm around. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, did you get that?
Yeah, just ask your question again.
Basically, would you be comfortable adding a standardized snippet of JavaScript to your card on the pre-transaction callback? And whether you are or not, what would it take for you to be comfortable with that? Should it be well commented? Should it be certified somehow? Or is there somebody that can go, okay, cool, these people give you reasonable and reliable snippets, so you don't need to worry about it? What would it take for you to be comfortable adding a snippet of JavaScript like that to your card in the pre-transaction callback?
Yeah, I personally would want to understand exactly what it does, and if it just sends my transactions off somewhere where I don't really know what it's doing with it, then I would actually feel uncomfortable. And to make me feel comfortable, it's a very good question. I actually don't know how you would make me feel comfortable.
I think three-legged auth would make me feel comfortable.
Yeah.
but you're still, I don't know. I would have to understand very well what the snippet does, because, you know, I'm also not really for sharing my transactions, you know, just out there to anybody.
Yeah. So very important with this, the JavaScript ideally will only share the pertinent portion of the transaction. So in this case, that would be whoever it is that's trying to bill you, and whether they are trying to bill you or not. So for the moment, that will always be they're trying to bill you, and it's Netflix.
All right. So yeah. So if I can control what goes into your JavaScript function, then I can control, you know, what I give you, and then I can give you those two things, and, you know, yeah, maybe that would work better.
Cool.
Thanks. Going to move on. Henri, Peter, and Co, are you guys still around?
Yeah, we are.
Cool. Do you want to take it away?
Yeah. So everyone wants to build good financial habits, but like it's easy enough to set up a budget at the beginning of the month, and then trying to stick to it turns into a whole nother nightmare for a lot of people. So with things like online shopping and instant gratification you get from swiping your card, you can overrun in your budget quite easily. Whereby trying to see your savings grow is not really that instantaneous. And I mean, it usually grows by a few rands a month, maybe. So what we are trying to do is to help users build better financial awareness and one habit at a time by using gamification to incentivize good habits and disincentivize bad habits. So what we're doing essentially is building a Tamagotchi for your Investec card. So our solution will be using a chatbot that has an avatar. Every time you swipe, you will lose a bit of health. If you reach goals, you will gain some health, you'll gain some XP, you can level up your avatar. We've got some cute little pictures to show as well as you level up your avatar. So yeah, the idea of the product is to create a fun and practical way for people to improve and build good spending habits.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Cool.
I love the idea of having like characters that level up. We actually did something early on with OfferZen. Might even be an idea you want to steal, but I mean, maybe you're already doing this, but we had a little egg, and the egg cracks a bit every time you complete more of your OfferZen profile. And then when you get it to like a certain level, then it hatches, and then it starts. Yeah, it was quite fun.
Yeah, we started off with the egg, or we are starting off with the egg, but he's growing from like toddler to teenager.
Okay.
As you progress.
I had to Google Tamagotchi. I think it's a nice idea.
Andrea, I don't know if you were part of the community, but someone actually did build something that they called Toshigotchi, which is not the same, but it's basically what it was an emotion. It sends you an emoji that has a kind of emotional response to each transaction. So you might want to check that out. It also had some machine learning under the hood, which kind of learns the appropriate emoji based on your spending. So like if you shop at McDonald's, it kind of sends you like a puking emoji, and like so not exactly the same, but it might be an interesting project to check out.
Yeah, definitely. I'll have a look at it.
I'll send the link in the Slack group afterwards.
Cool.
Did you want to ask a question? Because I kind of jumped in there and like had some opinions, but
yeah. So what I wanted to know is we're allowing users to create their own goals and objectives so that you can obviously you can set what kind of habits you want to create. And I was wondering what type of habits people would want to create, or like what type of spending habits people want to do. You want to try and stick to your budget or stuff like that. Anyone got some crazy ideas?
okay, I'm going to select Werner. Are you around?
Yeah, if I can find the unmute button. Yeah, maybe something like more willies, less tops,
Nice one. Yeah.
Or maybe more like health-related Jimmy stuff instead of McDonald's. So I can't really think for myself, but I'm thinking maybe that's where most people would be looking for.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Henry, are you guys thinking about like making it able to customize like what you get positive points for and what you get negative points for?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, excellent. Awesome. Okay. Great idea. Renan, Gift, and Tafiso, do you guys want to tell us what you're up to?
I believe I drew the short straw in the team, so I got the conch. So we took a look at, the mechanism that you can use for blocking transactions has the obvious kind of utility value that you can set up a gift card program or a loyalty program And if you extend that to its logical kind of endpoint, you can actually say, well, let's allow this credit card to be used in Cavendish Square or in Canal Walk or at Caltex or something like that. So you can build rules around this, but that's quite hard. You need a, it requires a bit of kind of thought. You run lambdas and weird stuff like that. So what we are going to do is build a really simple, accessible website or app. I'm not quite sure what it's going to turn into yet, that allows businesses, people to register their cards or sets of cards and manage rule sets around those cards, so that you can easily govern where the cards are used. So we want to make the transaction block functionality kind of broadly accessible and easily accessible. So that's really the essence, to the point that I should be able to control my kids' pocket money spend through the mechanism, or equally that I can make sure that a credit card that I give to my maid is only used for Uber or at Woolworths or whatever the hell. So yeah, there are a range of solutions that you can use if you make it easy for people to use. Gift, you want to chime in?
Yeah, I think you've covered it quite nicely. I think one use case that I found quite interesting was where we can, see you have it there on the slide, where the universities can restrict funding. The funding they give, they can restrict where you're using that card. That sounds like a very practical solution. Things such as grant can be used for that, to allow to control where people are spending their money. So yeah.
Awesome.
That's about it.
Yeah, you guys have a question for the audience?
Would you use it?
Question?
Yeah. I think that the trick though is getting the merchant stuff right, because I built something very similar. It was part of my demo actually. It's the merchant information that's the trick to get, so that you can either categorize them beforehand, or ensure that there's some clever logic in the back to go, oh, that's Caltex, which is fuel, therefore fuel is allowed, or whatever the case is. And hopefully that stuff all works out. But yeah, otherwise it's a very cool thing.
Our intention is to keep it simple. So it would be regexes on that are going past at this point. If it works and if we get traction, obviously we can kind of make it a lot more sophisticated. And I'm sure Investec would help there.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, great idea.
Point well taken.
Gift, do you have something you wanted to throw in there?
From what I'm hearing, I think that's the crux of our problem. That's the main thing we're going to need to focus on, how to get to categorize the merchant information. But yeah, we're still looking at the solutions.
Cool. Yeah, I think maybe one other approach could be to kind of enable the business to create like pre-authorization sessions. So like you can spend 500 Rand for the next hour or something, and like I as a user could request like a cash balance or something for the next hour.
Pre-authorization, yeah.
Yeah. So it might be a dumber way to make it not have problems, if that makes sense. I mean, they would have problems. You know what I mean? Cool. Yeah, I definitely think that a lot of businesses would be interested in that as well. It'll be awesome to have something that you can kind of implement from like a user perspective. Cool. Thanks, guys.
If you're keen, I can show you guys the basic sort of UI that I threw together for it at some point, if you guys are interested.
Yeah. Why don't you reach out to me, send me a link or something, and we can pick it up offline.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Cool. Lekker, man.
Thanks.
All right. Next up, Michiel, Dean, and Ron.
That's right. So ours is quite similar to the previous one, but more business focused. The problem that we've experienced of identified is what I've seen a lot in audit and a lot of my audit clients is when an employee is terminated or fired or resigns, more often than not, companies do forget to cancel their credit cards or block the credit cards. Also, the spending and block of categories on cards is at the moment with the banks. So when we get a credit card for an employee, we would fill in a form for the bank to block certain categories of expenses. So, for example, ATM withdrawals or specific so like liquor stores or whatever the case may be. But to change that category is an ambiguous process where you would have to fill in a form. An authorized person would have to submit it to the bank and change that spending allocations for each employee. So what we're planning to build is something that integrates with your payroll system. As soon as the employee is terminated on the payroll system, in this case, we're going to use Sage. If it's terminated on, or the end date is captured on Sage, that the card spend is automatically blocked. So basically automating the card cancellation for that employees, and then also adding a front end where we can select, say for example, post travel dates and basically allocate expenditure times and decline and approve transactions based on the travel dates or various other limitations like the category or a specific spend limit per day, specific spend limit per month, location, countries. So yeah, that's our solution that we want to build on this. So this would lead to a lot of time saving in terms of managing the expenses, company expenses, especially we've got thousands of employees traveling across the world. So for more bigger businesses, it would be a lot of time saving, less delays in changing the spend categories that employees can utilize, and also the automation then from Sage side. Basically.
Sweet. I like the automatically shutting down cards. That's like nice extension of like being able to do it versus like automated stuff is really cool. It's hard to find.
More often than not, you see employees terminated, but when you actually look at the system access and you look at the cards, all of those things are still active and employee spending, and legally you can't actually get that money back from the employees.
Mm. It's not the most sexy business, but employee termination is probably a big problem.
That's the term we use in audit though, but resigned or
I don't know what your name for your startup would be. Happy
terminating employees. No. So a question for the audience would be, is there anyone in this call that either at your company or the company that you own is not using Sage or SAP as an accounting system, as a payroll system?
Does anybody use it? Surely the world's moved on.
Sean, I saw a hand.
It's quite a serious question from my side.
All of the clients that I work at, it's all Sage or SAP.
No, so we're mostly Zero.
No, Zero.
And then
use Zero.
Okay.
And then in the one business we use Simple Pay, and in the other business we use PaySpace and Bamboo.
Okay.
Those are like if you could integrate it into Bamboo, that would be serious stuff because Bamboo's cool.
Is it Bamboo HR?
Yeah.
Bamboo HR. The reason why I'm asking is we specifically want to build a solution in such a way that it's flexible and can plug into various systems. So we'll use Sage for this example, but we want to build it to be able to integrate even to legacy on-premise systems as well. So not only cloud solutions, but also be able to integrate local or to on-prem systems.
You know what would be an awesome feature here is if you could have it for the employer, and I'm speaking from a sample size of one, so please forgive me. But if you had it the other way around, where you could cash out leave to a card.
That would
because
be...
like expired leave and all of those kind of things as an employer, it's one of the hardest things to deal with. Like I'd love to just say, oh cool, this one's got 4 days expiring. Give them the option to cash it out to a card and you can go spend.
Yeah, especially when the payment part of the API is also launch. That would be quite cool there.
Well, you could do it through payroll as well. You could add it to payroll and then it credits the card. Yeah, if you've got access to that data.
Yeah. The other thing that links to that we also thought of, but we don't think we're going to have time to do that, is to also, for overspend or for personal spend on company credit card, post that as a deduction from their payslips, from the employee's payslip. So
Oaks will hate that.
That will, for sure. Overspend directly too.
Your HR department will be very busy with complaints.
Yeah, that's that's the other problem.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, that's
cool. But I think it's a great idea.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Really useful. All right, that seems to be all the teams. Thank you, everyone. That was really interesting, actually, and I really enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed it too. I hope it was useful for the teams who are working on things. I'm really excited to see these the things built. So yeah, good luck for the last 10 days. And I just wanted to also let you guys know that Willem snuck in. Sorry, just letting Brian in there. Willem's, he called this a side project of his, building one new feature for the API, while he is working furiously on OAuth management, but he snuck this in on the side. So you can now filter transactions from the API by the same categories that appear on Investec Online. The reason this actually came up where there were two businesses who want to import credit card transactions into individuals' expense management apps. So they want to say, upload Ben's credit card expenses automatically to his, one business uses Raidu. We use Receipt Bank. So it would automatically appear in my Receipt Bank and it would nag me to add the receipts. So yeah, makes that problem easier to solve. Otherwise, that's it. Hopefully see you soon at a Make event if you haven't been to one.
And is this all the teams? Is this everybody?
No, there are I think about 4 or 5 more teams that can't make it tonight. Can actually go.
I'd love to see their concepts and their ideas as well.
I will. So it's these teams. I will ask them to complete their slides in absentia, and then I will share the slides. I mean, I'll share the slides in the channel, and then I'll send them each an email and just say everyone else was great, went ahead and shared the thing and joined the meetup, and it would be great if you guys could add your idea.
Make it mandatory.
Yeah, there were a bunch of them that said they don't even have an idea yet as well, so that's also part of the problem. Cool. Any questions or any other ideas, feedback? Nope. Then have a great evening, everyone. Looking forward to it. Oh, sorry, one more thing. I'm probably setting myself up here, but for a lot of work. But we are playing with the idea of having an end of year function type thing. It might be optionally in person, so something but you have to be very simple. It's quite crazy with these Make events and the hackathon. So our plan, just keep an ear out or eye out for that. It will be meet up at this bar or meet up at this restaurant. You'll get a free drink or something, and then we will hopefully. I'm really setting myself up here, but hopefully both at the same time, and we announce the winners there as well, and then give prizes or give the promise of prizes. I don't know if the PS5 is available yet, but yeah.
It's too late, Ben, now. That's all in everyone's head now, so you have to make it happen.
I know, this is the story of my life. I tell them some of my great ideas, and then they're like, awesome, so you had that great idea happening. So yeah, there we go. Maybe I'm secretly trying to just get some motivation.
Yeah.
Well, what's the order of the prizes?
First place is VR headsets, as far as I understand. Second place is PS5. Third place is robots, little robot car things. Some people have said they would prefer a second or third place prize. The prizes are descending in order of cost. So if you come first place and you would actually prefer a second or third place prize, or you come second place and you would actually prefer a third place prize, that's completely fine, I think. You can also just take a prize, sell it, and then take the profit and buy the other one, but that might be too much effort. But yeah, I think I'm happy to make that like a choice. It seems like I just decide and then that's like official choice made. So hopefully I'm right. Cool. Have a good evening. Hopefully see you next.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers.
Farewell.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.